video. We running hard.
Yeah. Oh, it's going live.
Yeah, God ain't live yet.
Enjoying.
Going to the beach. Oh man.
Breatharian ride.
The Breatharian ride.
Breatharian ride.
We're ready to get our good workout in. Yeah, because it's going to get bumpy right here.
Yeah.
Wonderful freedom. La 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 la. La la. We're about to go do our Qigong. We out on this wonderful beach. Look at that sun. That is awesome. Ra. The Egyptians called it Ra. Ray. Radiance. Radar. Radio. All of that beauty, high power. Our bodies are sucking it all in too. Look at us, we ready to go jam. La la la. And we've been flowing with information today. That's what it's all about. We're just flowing.
Yeah.
Bringing it down so we can transform ourselves. Look at all these people out here. And see, the thing about it, everybody out here being sustained by the cosmic forces, whether they realize it or not. That's why this is an awareness. You're becoming aware of it. Everybody just unaware. That's what they mean by unconscious. So we're bringing humanity from unconsciousness to consciousness. To let them know, and it's free too. Now, of course, if the system knew how to capture it and sell it to you, they would. But that's one thing they can't. Somebody thinking about it now. How can I sell them energy that's got their heartbeat?
Just in case, unknowingly, like if you consume any food, does it poison? Like, does it affect you?
Like, say what?
Suppose if you take any food or water unknowingly, like.
Oh no, because that goes back to what you're saying. A yogi can eat poison and it won't kill him. So your immune system is so strong. That's the thing about it. The average person, let's look at the COVID.
Yeah.
The COVID is basically worse on people who got a weak immune system. So if you're eating less, if you're doing these meditations and got your system strong, you got a strong immune system. So I'm gonna take something and just, it's going right through the system. The heat is strong, flexibility is strong, all that stuff is on key. Oh man, this would be a good area here, huh? Oh, look at this area. Look at our classroom. This is our outdoor classroom. Aha! Look at that. Then we got the music, so when we do our Qigong, we could be like, yeah. This looks like a good classroom.
Climate and all is very
Aha! La la. Yeah, over here would be good. The dog want to join us too.
waiting for us.
All right, now here we go. Oh, here we go. Now we're right on key. And you was talking about starting out with the Breatharian or the medicine man, the knowledge of the medicine man. But we can't talk about the medicine man if we don't bring up the witch. One, they both the same thing. But one, we look at when we say witch, we look at a female, and a medicine man speaks for itself, a medicine man. But of course, we call a male witch a warlock. These are play on words. But we're still talking one and the same thing. Then we got words like sorcerer, working with energies. Then we got words like voodoo. And voodoo just means spirits with an S. Many, not just one, spirits. But since we translate now, remember I said we said spiritual cultivation and energy cultivation is one and the same? Since we're in this age now, we can use energies. So voodoo now means energies. It's somebody who can work with energies. Everything has energy and everything has an electromagnetic field. We was playing with it today. So now we're in an age where we can make all of this make sense. So dealing with, oh man, this is getting good. Now there was a war that took place that many people don't talk about because the way they said it in history. We just got bits and pieces of it and we just got one side of what took place. And we all heard of the witch hunts. Somebody was chasing down people who could work with energy. That was a war that took place. And this is all ancient stuff. But when we get a hold of it, we blame it on the Catholic Church because they wanted to promote their religion. Absolutely not. Because after they cleaned house, the next thing that was established was the medical profession that we got right now. That's what came right after it. That was the whole purpose. Now we hear things in ancient times about a medicine man. And to make a medicine man, that means he's educated. He's smart. It ain't no stupid person. They know history. Not the official history that's given to everybody else. They know history. They're the gatekeepers to rituals. Now this is real important. They're the gatekeepers. That means when you're doing an action or a habit, that's what a ritual is. They know the effects and the outcome of that. And remember we said bad health is when you don't have good cognitive thinking skills. You don't know where that's going. But somebody who's in the know where that's going. So when they tell you to do something that say that's good for your health and everybody fall into it, somebody's sitting back benefiting off of it. So they're the gatekeepers, and also they're related to healing with supernatural powers. Supernatural powers. Now why is it supernatural and not natural? Because we'll say a herbalist is just working with natural things in nature, right? What would make them different than a herbalist? It's because they're going into the realm that's going beyond the herbs. This is what Breatharian knowledge is teaching you about. You even have to get to the level you go beyond herbs, fruits, vegetables. It don't matter. You're going into the realm of true spirituality, which is a superpower. It's not natural, it's supernatural. Because your thoughts create your reality. Period. So that's why you hear things about, have you ever heard that story about when they were coming to America in the ships? The shaman could see them, but the regular people couldn't see them. He could see them, but they couldn't see them. Because that shows right there that their minds or brains was used to seeing a repetition of a certain image every day, so they couldn't see a change. But the shaman who'd been trained on energy, he could see changes in the force. That's all you see is influxes of energy. Your brain is just decoding it. So, but the thrust I want to get to this story, if somebody had that much power back then that we call a shaman or a medicine man, that means that they still exist today. They never left the power. Why should they? So that means they must be behind the world on how it's being ran right now. But every time we bring it up, we just think of something primitive. Oh, that was just back then. We got modern stuff now. No, that's still running the ball game. That's why I see in one of the world conspiracy theorists, they put up a pyramid of the world. And they had the masses on the bottom. And even money itself, they had is halfway. They said the people that's running the world, they had positions like wizards, that was at the top. It's somebody who knows the energy of the mind, knows how to manipulate it. Now what this got to do with Breatharianism? In other words, it's dealing with the same thing. I'm giving you a new program to manipulate energy. You can manipulate it. We've been doing it, but we got to go slowly. The Japanese doctor had to show us with a microscope, see how the water changed when you talk bad to it? You curse the water. So you could curse things or you could give things blessings, even yourself. Now I want to do something good with you. Now right here at the bottom of your wrist, you got a line on each hand. And take them and kind of line them up. And put your hands together and just see how they both fit together. And close them together. Kind of look at how they fit together. All right? Now, take one hand and focus on it. And we're going to tell it to grow longer. Grow longer. Say it out loud. Look at it. Grow longer. Grow longer. Grow longer. Grow longer. Grow longer. Grow longer. Now take the hands and line them up again. And look at the difference.
You mean auto-suggestion?
Huh?
You mean like auto-suggestion?
Auto-suggestion. That's just a new word we gave it. But you are so powerful, you can tell your body what to do.
Mind didn't change though, Ellie Tom.
Wait,
Same.
you probably ain't lined it up for the last time. Maybe it was shorter. Try it again.
No, you're suggesting something to me and I don't want to believe it.
Yeah, that's how powerful you is. Just what she said, because that's why no matter how good a healer is, if a person don't want to be healed, they don't have to. We do it all the time. So some people want to be sick. That's why there's a joke that says, now in America, they got a thing called SSI. That's when you can't work no more with working disabilities. So they'll give you a check not to work and all of this stuff. And they probably got it in other places, but anyway, there's a joke that says, one day this man, he was really feeling bad, he was real sick. He went to the beach and he met this man that was glowing. And he touched him and he healed him. So he said, I think my friends want to know this too, they need help. So he ran and got his friends. Told them about the man. Of course they didn't believe it, but they seen him glowing out there. He touched the other man and he got well. I really feel good. But the third man he went to go touch, he moved back. Came to him again to touch him. He moved back again. But they said, what's wrong? You see what I did to the other people? He said, you ain't gonna mess up my SSI check. So that's another thing of the system. It pays people to be sick. Oh, it's oh.
So he lose out on that.
So some people rather had a disability to go back to work. They don't want to be healed. I've seen this happen many times, believe it or not. Especially when you're getting benefits from it. And benefits don't actually mean money. Sometimes you get more attention from people, like never before. That's the whole idea, because we're powerful, we can do that. But again, dealing with the medicine men, there's a German proverb that says, and I threw it on social media one day, and some people couldn't catch it, some did. But it said, the rich have medicine. The poor have health. The rich have medicine. Now listen at that. Now listen to the play on words. The rich have medicine. You might say, well, because they got the money to afford it. But wait a minute now, let's change the words around. Medicine has the rich. The reason why they're rich, because those is the medicine men. The medicine men made a profit. They were already had a jump on everybody else. They know how to manipulate energy. This just didn't come about. They took advantage of their power. This is where we at. So as we resurrect them, we're sort of like the baby medicine men coming on the scene, because all of us got the power in us, the baby witches. And right now, listen at that word witch. I seen a thing on where they were saying Today, you got the most witches than ever. There's a resurrection. Now, what did that mean? People learning more about herbs. People learning more about energy work. That's why they said that. Learn how to work with crystals. Learning more energy healings. And they even had a thing that people are moving more to alternative medicine than ever before. So what they're saying when they said that article, oh, you got the most witches than ever before. Let's don't confuse it to make it mythical. Those are the witches. They're using their all-natural abilities to heal, to change their life. This is what we're getting at. Now, I was in Mumbai last year, and I got this award called the Ojaz Award. I was all happy. 2019. But this is key what they said. I got this award because they said he teaches in the field of human health through energy of air and light. That's all I'm teaching. I'm teaching human health through the energy of air and light. And a breatharian is a person that's a good energy worker. Well, let's play with the words. A good medicine man, a good witch. That's what you're working with. And you're working with the power of the air, the energy of it, and the energy of light. Now, when we look at light, it's more than just visible light. We got that. I can see this, see that. But we only see a small portion of the visible spectrum. And earlier we was talking about the ultraviolet spectrum we live in. And we're getting used to working with that now. Unseen forces. So light, you got visible light, which you can see it. Now you're working with invisible light. You're getting more confidence in it. Now another good one. Sound is light. A lot of people don't know. I thought they did at first. Oh, sound is light. This one man said, he was doing an interview on me. Really? But I was like, whoa, you didn't know that. Yeah, sound is light. That's why music is so powerful. It'll get you shaking. Somebody, you be doing like this all of a sudden. Start giving you more energy, picking you up. And there's even a thing, let's put music into the witchcraft category. Why is that? The song that's going through your head when you're starting out the day, that's how you're looking at the world. Absolutely. It persuades the way you're looking at things. You singing a song talking about everything is happy, everything is beautiful. Right. That's the way you're looking at the world. When you're waking up the world, I just hate this city and want to move. Whole nother ball game. But all of that goes under the same classification on higher level knowledge. Medicine. And we was talking earlier about the definition of a drug. It's a thing. It's anything that can transform the body or the mind. This is what we're working with. So that's why the ancients used to say everything is mental. Everything is vibration, dealing with the 7 laws. That ain't never quit. It's still the same today. I don't care what we do. You're still up under. Those are universal laws. So if everything is mental, the Breatharian journey is not physical at all. Your body don't even exist. The only time you think about your leg is when your leg is hurt. You ain't even thinking about it. You don't even know you got a leg. You like a kid until you see it. What is this? Oh. But when it's hurting, that's when you feel the shoulder and stuff. Other than that, you don't care about your body like a little kid. But now we're getting at a mental state of consciousness. When you're dealing with the Breatharian journey, just like how you was commanding your hand to get longer, now you got to start paying attention what you're telling the body to do. Big time. It'll start conforming. That's why there's a fun level on a journey of the Breatharian knowledge. I'm going to tell you what it is. A lot of people can't wrap their head around it, but it's a fun journey. All right, here you go. You got vegetarian, vegan, fruitarian, juicitarian. Then you got a thing called a liquidarian. before you go into the Breatharian levels. A Liquidarian, what is that? What's the difference between that and a Juicitarian? Huh? I'll
Some people drink their urine, don't they, as well?
Oh yeah, we'll go into that. But that's another therapy that's real powerful. Now the difference between a Liquidarian, and that's a bold step though, a lot of people go on. And when it first started, there was a famous Breatharian up in France, and he did this great workshop. And then he went and got a cappuccino later, and it blew people's mind. They couldn't handle it. What did he talk about? He did that just now. Now he don't care. Now this is the concept behind it, but this is another power trip. When you pick up the Breatharian skill, you know that nothing that you ain't got nothing to do with health. That cappuccino just like an orange juice. That's magic. Somebody told you that. You get vitamin C out of there. How you know? That's why when people ask me about vitamins and minerals, I don't know what you're talking about. That's a spell. Somebody told you that.
The same thing goes with what you're telling us as well, right?
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
right. This is why, like, say that again.
The same thing goes with what you are telling us as well, right? You are telling us
Right.
we are like consuming it, so at the end of the day,
Exactly. I'm telling you another spell. I'm not out of it. She basically calling me a medicine man. Yep.
no,
I'm doing energy work.
She's saying like brainwashing. What is brainwashing?
no, I didn't say he's brainwashing. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, you get information from others, and then it's up to an individual whether
Exactly.
how much they will be able to make out of it, fit it in their daily routine, or let's say in their routine.
Exactly.
Daily routine.
She's telling the truth. At the end of the day, it's your choice.
Yes.
Voices is talking to you. That's what. And she named the thing brainwashing. This is brainwashing. You taking your brain out, washing it, and putting it back in. You got to do that one program to another, just like we were saying. Exactly. The Breatharian knowledge is just another program. Program after program after program. But what I'm saying is, don't think this is just new. This been going on with the human family. So when you look at the condition of the world, somebody already knew this. The masses didn't know it. Everybody was under a spell. That's why they gave you that movie. Have you ever seen that movie, Shrek 2? Right, that was a good movie. But the fairy godmother had that potion factory
Yes.
making potions for
There.
the masses, basically. She had a potion for everything. She was casting spells to keep civilization going. That's it. Who's ever educate you, whoever controls the history, controls your destiny. Period. Oh man, that's why again, the medicine man was an educator, a historian, and he's the gatekeeper of rituals. That's why even in when your conspiracy theorists is talking, they looking at the royal families. Oh, they did another ritual. Look how this is at. Look how that is set up. Look how that is set up. Right, to bring on certain energies. It ain't nothing new. That's medicine. We must know this. If we're doing the same thing, it's just ignorantly until you really start catching on to what you're doing. It's real key. And the way to change is when you do learn a new habit or a new ritual, it don't happen right away. You got to give it time in order for those energies of the new habit to kick in. Does that make sense? That's why a person could lose weight for a minute, and then you'll see them gain it all back because they didn't give it a period of time, so the forces didn't back them up. But if you give yourself time into that journey, then the forces will start coming because you got a new ritual, which we call a new habit, which we call a new style of living. And they supporting or that new frequency. That's how you go from frequency to frequency. They know everybody. That's why everybody looking for a process. 10 days, I'm going to be this. 3 weeks, I'm going to be this. No. Depending on where you're coming from and how strong your magic is, that's what they say. How strong is your medicine? And the stronger medicine man was the one who had more power of knowledge. took it seriously. Oh, man. And as soon as you go back into, you try to break a habit, but you keep playing around with the other one, not just prolonging, because you got the energies confused. They just out to serve. See, energy, it's not dictating if it's good or bad. All it wants to do is create. Your creator's all right, without a shadow of a doubt. It just wants to create. But you need the knowledge now, knowledge and the way energy works in order to get it to flow the way you want it to flow. Just like when you talk about that river going with the water, but as soon as my foot got in it, the energy, it didn't stop it. It tried to figure out a new way to go to the place of least resistance. So when you feel a pain, it didn't kill you. Your body is just figuring out a way to keep you alive, so it's going another way, so you're figuring it out now. Because this is your mind. So you start dealing with it so it can move. Might have to do a few stretches for a little bit, see what you're eating to get it like that. And once it get removed, oh yeah, here we go. Oh man. Now going back to meditation is the foundation. So when you dealt with these terms of a medicine man, a shaman, a witch, they were people who were close to the forces of nature. Yeah, they weren't ignorant. Close to the forces of nature. And fasting was part of their lifestyle. They knew better than that. That's why they get everybody else strung out. It's a drug deal. Strung out. But they know better than that. They set up things on going on quests. You know, we make it into quests. Going through different initiations, being alone. Right, that's why they're doing that. To gain more energetic power. And when your power is low, it shows in your energy field. Here we go. Now we're taking all the myth out of it. And we just got the shadow of things. But there's truth to it when you take it to a higher level why people are doing certain things. That's why we said earlier about feng shui. The way you set furniture up, the way you set your household up, the way you do the things in your car, the colors that you're doing, all of that is in alignment with witchcraft. If we want to use that word, medicine man talk. And I had a buddy of mine who was in higher level marketing. They actually got a higher level marketing. And they work with the colors of things. When you go to a vending machine, they just didn't pick the colors of the bag for it to be in. There's certain colors that will attract your attention. Somebody got it all figured out. Certain words that catch your attention, stick with you. Everybody know Coca-Cola. Higher level marketing. But this is all going in the same alignment. And even when you, see, there's even things like how I'm talking to y'all right now. How I got my hand talking to you. See, I just happen to be through speaking school. Right, you show this part of the hand, it's more receptive to people compared to this hand. You feel the energy of it? Same thing. Yeah, you can learn those skills. Don't look people in the eyes, they'll throw you off. You look at the top of their head. Basic 101. Other than that, if I look at y'all's faces, I'll be like, I'll get stopped. What are you trying to say? Right. But we learn those skills, we just take them as education, but somebody already knew this. The colors you wear for different presentations, you can learn all that. Those are basic 101s of education. So when we're dealing with food again, let's go back to the liquidarian state. That's when you start drinking things and you start judging them on health. It ain't got nothing to do because it's organic. It ain't got nothing to do because the electrolytes. It is going to start going right through your body because you changed your thinking. Now, we ain't saying drink Coca-Cola every day. We're not saying that. But that goes back to when they said a yogi could drink poison and it won't kill him. Of course it's poison. Anything that you drink it and make your tongue fizzle, of course it's making your organs fizzle. We know that. But you still living, ain't you? Now, if you change the thought process of that, that's a whole other ballgame. The body's going to behave differently. That's why food freedom is at the 3rd level of yoga. There's 7 levels at the 3rd level. But the way they described it, they're letting you figure it out. They just basically said your hunger and your thirst will decrease. It's up to you to go from there or what you're going to do with it. They ain't had to use a term like living on prana, breatharian. They had to say that. They said it will decrease. So if it decreased, that means you ain't hungry. Half of the people don't even eat out of hunger no more. You just doing it because, like the Pavlov effect. If you eat every day at 6 o'clock, your tongue gonna start watering at 6 o'clock. But that's the time you do it. Lunchtime coming up, your stomach start growling because that's how you trained it. Now me and Ramesh, we met a dog down here who got it made. But that's how we were saying too on how you have to train your physical body. Sort of like training a dog. It's listening, it's a good servant, but it's a bad master. Because you do got a conversation going in your head. Who you talking to? Yourself. Y'all nutcases. I used to live in this one place by myself and people thought I was living with somebody else because I'd be talking to myself. I'd be like, you shut up. No, you shut up. But you got to train it just like a dog. Like the first day you got the dog, I want you to stay. You got a treat, stay. He don't know. He ready to come, back. That's what your body going to be doing in the beginning. It don't know what you're trying to do. Then when you get a certain amount of feet, you say, come on, and then you get a reward. Good boy, good girl. That's what you do. Then you do it again. Stay. And you'd be surprised how fast it'll catch on. Your body's the same way. If it's used to eating every day, and they're going to understand what you're doing the first or second day of fasting. You try to say, I want you to stay. I don't want to. I want to eat. That's what it's doing. And then, that's why I say you don't want to put tape on your mouth being a breatharian. I don't even teach that way. Those who teach that way, more power to them. That's what I'm saying. There's a training that have to take place. So therefore, when you're training yourself again, you'll get to the point where you can go further away from the dog. Stay. Then pretty soon it'll come, it'll come. That's what you're doing to the body. So when you're doing the body, you're going on those different fasting when you're getting used to it. And you know this is different now because you're meditating with it. Then you can tell the body, yeah, in 3 days from now, we're going to go eat something. And I'll get you this, and this. Watch it behave differently. You were just talking to your hands. It's real. And I remember when I really first challenged this. I like long distance biking. And one day, I had to do a distance in order to make this place I wanted to go. But I never went that distance before in one day. So, of course, there was that fear of saying, looked like this is going to be a 2-day trip. But I was like, nah, I need to make it in 1 day. So I'm going to give it a shot. So, but me knowing this knowledge, I asked my body, can we do it? And it kind of gave me a let's do it. That's what it, right, you're in tune with yourself. Now, that was a rough riding day. We was getting down, too. But that night, so I forgot all about that promise. But that night when I'm sitting there in my tent and I made it, I said, thank you. You can feel it saying thank you. I know I can do it. We did it. It was programmed. It was listening to me. It could do it. You got to allow it to. That's what it boils down to, talking to yourself. That's why we were saying, let's go back to ego where we had a conversation. Now, we've been taught in spirituality that your ego is no good. Now, why would somebody tell you that? Only if it was a medicine man who ain't had your interest and favor. We got to take a look at it the other way. That's all we're doing. So you're not allowed to brag about your accomplishments. You're not allowed to say nothing if you're spiritual or somebody going to call you on it. You arrogant. You'll just try to tell what you did. Here we go. So it shuts you down. You better not talk about your accomplishments. They don't want that to happen because you'll start believing in yourself. So somebody shut it down. They got it in the halls of spirituality, especially. Now there's a difference between, now let's give it a real down-to-earth word. There's a thing called self-esteem. self-esteem. Now, there is a good self-esteem. You got a good self-esteem. Now there's a thing called a low self-esteem. And it's rough when you meet somebody got a low self-esteem. They don't believe in themselves. They don't like themselves. They easily get bothered by other people who believe in themselves. That's a rough person. There's no way they're going to grow until they come out of that. But that's ego. That's a low ego. A good self-esteem. Now, we're not saying the inflated one. There's an inflated one out there, too. We ain't saying that, but we talk about a good self-esteem. You're comfortable at the way you look. You're comfortable with your talents. You're comfortable with your abilities or what you got going for you. Yeah. And then when something do happen in life, you know, different things, you'll know you'll come out of it because you got a good self-esteem. You just have to go through it. You can work with that person. They didn't try to kill that. That's ego. But it's a good one. That one you can work with. This one down here you can't work with. And this one over here that's overinflated is hard to work with. You want a good self-esteem. But it deals with believing in yourself. Your belief in yourself shows your belief in God. And vice versa. That's why there's an ancient saying says, know thyself is to know God. There is no in between.
What is God according to you?
I like how she brought that up. Now, since we're dealing with the medicine man knowledge of ancient terms, what they're saying, now, let's make it make sense. Metaphysics came about. First there was religion. Then metaphysics came about. And all they did was change the wording, even though they were saying the same thing. Instead of saying God, they would kept saying your higher self. You ever hear that? But it's one and the same. You got God, then you got my higher self told me. That just start training the people to say something different. It's you. That's who you're having a conversation with. Dealing with your program. But they just changed the wording. But in ancient times, what they were saying, it is your higher self. It is you, because you're bigger than what you think you are. But it always will be ahead of you so you can grow into it. So you won't become limited. But somebody limited us because you were scared to say that you're one with that force. That's what limited you. But when you understand you are that force, you come from it. If you as child and his son, you one and the same. So it always gives you something to grow into, because what makes us different than other animals is we got the ability to learn. Like I was telling them earlier, yeah, there's a dog down there ain't thinking about he's going to learn to start painting, you know, learn to make his own clothes. He ain't even thinking about that. But we can. He's going to think about running marathons. The dog ain't thinking that. I'm going to start building up my muscles. I'm going to start a business. The dog ain't thinking that. We think that. But the way to do all those things, you have to believe in your ability or what you got to work with, and you could go learn it, even if you don't know nothing about it. That's a good thing. So dealing with that concept of God is something that will always be ahead of you. Nobody's arguing that. But in order for you to, how should we say, go to another degree, you got to know that it exists, that type of mind, your higher self. It ain't separate from you. So that's why we're coming hardcore with this knowledge now when I say meditation is the foundation. And if you knew how to meditate, you should heal yourself. Now that's very powerful in this day of age. If you knew how to meditate, you should heal yourself, because meditations is to break up energy blockages. So that means you had to come union with to some type of force. Ain't that what yoga's saying? Union with what? Well, we made it mythical again. The divine. What's that? I don't know. That's what we've been doing. We can laugh at ourselves now. We all fell for it. I was a priest in the church. I couldn't wait till I go to the real estate up in the sky I never saw. Angels with wings and stuff. Can't wait till I get me a robe on playing a harp. Till I had to figure it out. Wait a minute, I'm sick, I'm dying. Let me do something about this. Changed it around. I can heal myself. But due to that knowledge, took responsibility. That's who you are. You are the force. That's why this is going back into big magic again. It starts first, somebody have to corrupt the thought. Somebody have to corrupt the thought. Like you said, at the end of the day, it's your choice, because there's people talking to you now, coming from all sides. You weighing it out, from the negative to the positive. And it's good to be around somebody who do. I remember this man said, this was key. He said he had an uncle that he loved being around. Because after his uncle got done talking to you, he made you feel like you could do anything. That's powerful, ain't it? He could talk you and make, because he picked up your self-esteem. That's magic. You made somebody grow. Now we all know the negative person. Right, you got a child coming up as a parent talking negative all the time, already crippling them. They got to battle through all of that. Already crippling them. That's why the Catholics used to say, what, give me your child in 6 or 7 years, I'll make sure they'll be like that for the rest of their life. That's magic. Very powerful. So that's why even on the Breatharian journey, we got to go through a level of clearing up past traumas. Picked up all that stuff coming up out of here. All that magic, spells that was through on us. Didn't even know it. Fell into it, believing it, getting hit. And you breaking all of that down slowly, like an onion. And that is the power behind Breatharianism. That's why I said it's not about just eating or not eating. You need a mind that believes in itself. Is what it'll put this to the test. Because didn't we say earlier that the brain, this flesh right here, they're telling you right in science, it's the most powerful computer on this planet. And you got access to it. Now they just telling you that now, like nobody ain't know that in ancient times. Yeah, they did. That's why the fall took place like it did purposely. Through medicine men. We can't look at nobody just being primitive like that. No, they wasn't. That's how it happened. But we wouldn't stay here for long because it's already in you. That's why when you watch that movie, you ever see The Wizard of Oz? Anybody? The Wizard of Oz. What? Y'all better go look at The Wizard of Oz. That's an all-time favorite.
It was the dog, wasn't it? That yeah, he saved the whole day.
Well, for those who didn't see it, there was this girl named Dorothy, and I guess she was dreaming of whatever. But she ended up, a tornado took her, but she went into this other world, and the tornado came in and smashed this witch and killed this witch. The Wicked Witch of the South, I think. But the Wicked Witch of the West, who was running the whole place, that was her sister, so she was mad. I'm going to get you back, all right? So Dorothy wanted to get back home, but on her journey, they told her she needed to go see the wizard. The wizard could get you back home because he got all power. So she's on her journey to go see the wizard. But on her journey, she meets the scarecrow. He needed a brain. Now listen at that. He needed a brain. He lost his mind. This is talking about us. You need to get your brain back. Then she said, come with me because I want to go see the wizard. He can get you a brain. Ran into the, what was it? Who?
Lion.
The lion?
He wanted a heart.
He wanted a heart for courage. Don't that sound familiar? Think through your heart. And spirituality is all in there. Your heart, your heart. So he needed a heart for some courage. That's spiritual talk. And then last but not least, the scarecrow.
Tin Man is here.
Oh, the Tin Man. And what did he? No, he needed the heart.
Courage.
I
Lion
think these are
needed
three
courage.
things: strength, courage, and magic. If I'm not wrong.
Strength, courage,
Magic.
and a brain. Which is magic. You can round it up and say magic. We're going to get into that. Hold that word for a minute. So they're all going to go see the wizard. But the thrust to the movie was there was a good witch. She was the witch of the north. Linda tried to help her. So the witch of the south got killed. Witch of the west want to kill her. Witch of the north is trying to help her. Now you got that. So she finally make it to the wizard. And when she find the wizard, he was somebody she thought he was scared. He ain't had no power. She was like, what do I do now? And they was telling her the power was already in you. because she was the witch of the East. That's why you never saw the other witch in the movie. She was. That's what it's trying to tell you. And don't we say this is Eastern knowledge? Come from the East. You're the witches of the East, the warlocks, the medicine men. But in order to get home or get your mind back, you got to go on your journey and find out the power ain't out there, it's already in you. That's what the movie telling on an esoteric level.
That dog as well, don't forget that was a good part. The dog pulled the curtain to show her.
Right.
And he's like, that's like instinct, the animal instinct.
Right, the dog pulled the curtain on him. And we love our dog. We got this dog down here. He showed us a lot. He was teaching us about how to live. I like that dog. Now, she said it's all about magic. Let's put it all under the umbrella. Dealing with the brain, the heart, the strength, all of that's magic. Now, the word magic comes from the word imagination. Let me repeat. Does everybody want to be magicians? Yeah, you are. It's your imagination. That's the root word of it. That's why the Bible starts out, and God created man in his likeness and image, in his imagination. This ain't spooky. And that's why in Revelation, where it talks about the beast system, he created an image. He created somebody in his imagination. It's going against the current. It's just a war on words. So for you to get back to your God self, you got to come into a new imagination. Think differently. Know you can do it. Believe in your abilities. Believe in your confidence. Know all answers is inside of you. Then you even got to look at food differently. First you start out, that's just an experience. Okay, you can't break free yet. I know this ain't real. Pretty soon you get stronger. Oh, not today. Then you get even stronger. Longer period. And pretty soon you look at it, I don't even like the way this made me feel. Because you know what's it? That's why the ancients, again, you think somebody was lying? They say, oh, this is an illusion. All of them basically were saying that. This ain't even real. They had that movie, The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. Y'all see that? But they had this good part. Now, they telling you the message in there. They was called the sons of Adam and the daughters of Eve. Did they just make that up? No coincidence? Nope. So basically, some wicked witch was ruling the world. Here we go, ding. They came back, and one of them sold out the rest of them. And the way she sold them out was with some food. They telling you right there. She got them some truffles. He was like, ooh, I like truffles. She was like, tell me where the rest of them is at. He busting everything. You'd be surprised how many people sell out for some food. I've been sold out many times. Oh, hungry people. Right. So, but this is the good part. After he sold them out and stuff, she took the truffles, threw it against the tree, and it disappeared. It turned into dirt or something. That's what it was. I saw that part. It wasn't nothing. He's selling out thinking he really getting something. She took it and threw it against the tree. It disappeared. Oh, man. Whoa. We got to think about that one for a minute. So that's what they mean by the fall of consciousness. We still try to figure out what it means. Yeah. Thinking lowly. And you're a vibration just like anything else. And you can think your way out of this. That's what you got to do. That's the power right there. So that's why we say a meditation is the foundation, because that's a tool that you have. Well, let's change that word. That's a technique. And there's many different techniques. Now let's look at that word technique. That's where they get the word technology from. Maybe in the age of, they always said science and technology. Science means knowledge. Technology means technique. Don't let them fool you with that like it's some big stuff. That's ancient stuff. Knowledge and what technique you're using to make certain things come about. So that's why we say this is Breatharian science, because you're grabbing a knowledge and you're putting a technique together. You're working with science and technology, human science and technology. This is an instrument. We all been to a funeral or seen something that was dead. The body's there, but the life is gone. The energy's gone. It ain't functioning no more. It's gone. And then that technology is so powerful, it's going to disintegrate soon. It's going to disappear. It wasn't even real. That's why they're telling you in man's higher consciousness that, oh man, this is going to get good. Your body is not alive, and it never will be. You're animating it to life. You don't exist. You're animating it. Let's make it make more sense. Now in ancient times, they got a word called animism. When you deal with them, any of y'all ever heard that? All right. You got your medicine men, you got your witches, you got your shamans, you got your warlocks. All these little words is under the same heading. But they practice animism. Animism was the idea that everything got a spirit. Everything is alive. Okay, let's go there first. We just found out. First we was playing around with the tree. This got an electromagnetic field. Then we went to a person. Then we went to a dead chair. Now we said it was dead, but it got an electromagnetic field to it. So what is life? You don't know. This is being animated, fueled by energy, whether it's animated or inanimated. But it still got the energy. A rock got energy. That's why we deal with crystals. Ooh, this got a strong energy. Well, you can say it's alive. It's just like you. You got the same energy as the rock. Oh, man. So that word animism, an animist, that's where they get the word in cartoons, animated. Animated cartoons. And in Japan, they got that thing called anime, the anime cartoons. Same word, animism. So you are an animated being. Now, how can I prove that? That's why they got the word animal. People be like, I'm not no animal. Yeah, you are. You're animated, just like that dog. No different. You're just in another animated form. Right. Now look at that. That's beautiful. And in Latin, it means soul. One and the same, because that word soul messes a lot of people up. All the time. Everybody got their definitions. We could play all day long. That's real key. Soul, solar, we could play all day long, but it's an energy force that it ain't got nothing to do with somebody's eating. Now, the average person to say, well, we believe you gotta die, but your soul lives forever. You know, we playing around. We don't know what we saying. Right, consciousness will be here. As long as somebody's creating, everything's gonna be here. It ain't going nowhere. Oh, man. That's why I say a person's life don't end until they, what? Have the will not to live no more. And the greatest pill is a placebo. That's magic. I remember my mother one time, she was in the hospital sick. Now, I didn't know it. And I was in the Navy at the time. I was coming through. I said, I'm going to surprise them and sneak up on them. So I got home, and they was like, oh, she in the hospital. So soon, now here she go, like she's sick in the hospital, everybody come seeing her. But when she found out I made it home, she was well the next day. How did that happen? Right. Ding. She said, oh, I got to be home. He's home. There's some magic. Here she comes. That's how powerful the mind is. We make ourselves sick for purposes. We can make ourselves well for different purposes. Now, I was just doing a thing dealing with the power of the human body. You can even look that up on the internet. They be saying it, but it ain't kicking in. Now, they got a thing called Hawkamania. I ain't talking about... But anyway, that's like when, give you an example. A car is ready to run over a woman's baby and she'll come pick it up. She didn't even think about it, but all that strength came. And then they got things like your bones in your body can lift like 2 tons and all this. This is stronger than steel. And they're saying this through this scientific arena. That is how strong you are. But dealing with your thoughts again, you don't know it. You don't know it. So that's why you got to slowly start breaking the barrier of the limitations of your thinking. And I remember, what's his name, Deepak Chopra said something real key to help me. I was a writing I was reading, and in so many words he was saying, when something's supposed to work, that's the way you're supposed to think. All right? Something on those lines. And sure enough, I said, I got it. So, of course, we was working. My friend, my key won't work in the door. I said, do it usually work there? Yeah, but I just can't get it. Somebody else tried it. But with me remembering what he said, that I was on the Breatharian levels, I took the key, and in my mind, this is supposed to fit because you did it before, and it opened. How did you do that? It's a thought. You're supposed to. You changed the molecular structure. If you could do it with water, why can't you do it with a table or steel? You did it with your hand? That's what we doing. Oh, man. And I'd start practicing it many more times after that. Fixing the car one time, I couldn't get this bolt, and I had to say, oh, wait, time out. You're supposed to come off. Boop. That's what you're doing to it. You got to start exercising, because perfect practice make perfect. So there is a training you got to go through. See, and when you look at it like that, life becomes a great obstacle course. You created this situation for yourself so you could grow. It ain't going against you, really. So in other words, when I started out talking about the medicine men brought this about, don't look at it as a war. This is something that you helped create also, you understand? Because you know you come up out of it. That's why all the ancients were saying there's going to be a time of ignorance, a time of darkness, and you're coming right back out of it. Because it's already in you too. In our full-blown abilities. And right now, as we go through this food crisis, this big drug that's on the planet, yeah, it's taking a lot of people out. But also a lot of people coming out of it. Because all it is great magic. That's all it is. It ain't giving life. You got to look at it for what it really is. It's already dead. So that's why in man's higher consciousness, he was basically saying, your physical body is already dead and will always be dead. The problem is you getting in the way, trying to keep it healthy, and that's where you're losing at. That's why mostly every health guru who made that diet into a new religion is out of here. And their body had to be talking to them. Okay, move on. Now I got to keep talking this because the people want me to talk it. That's where we get trapped at. You got to be bold enough to say this ain't working. So you can move on. But we get trapped in our own thought. This is where we at. Oh, man. This is good, ain't it? Good magic. Now, right here, I got a picture of... It's supposed to be a person. It's not a turd. And it got his spinal cord. But we're going to also do the microcosmic orbit meditation. Now that word microcosmic, micro is talking about us. And the macro is talking about the universal picture. You got the sun, stars, moon, the earth, energy coming from all these different sources. So even though on one level we say there's only one source, but duality, don't look at it as being evil. It's just that everything's giving off its own energy to paint this picture. So this goes back to medicine again. Everything's affecting us, but you want to put yourself in the right position, right predicament to receive more of the energies at a higher level than at a lower level. But there is something that's called, they call it environmental. Some environments are more nutritious than others. Let's put it like that. You can be a breatharian anywhere, but sometimes if you're in a real low vibration, you'll know when to move, get out of there so you can be fully nourished. I remember I threw a retreat up in Michigan and my son came up there and he said, I finally caught what you're saying. Because he was in one environment, but until he got seen that other environment, he said, the energy is a lot more flowing. That's what it was. Flowing better for the body. So that's why no matter where you live, you at least want to get you a course to take advantage of the situation you're in the best way you can. So when I was in Mumbai, people was like, how can you be a breatharian in Mumbai? I said, easy. If the tree is out there in the middle of the city with cars going all around it, it's still practicing photosynthesis. Did he say I'm not a tree no more? Absolutely not. But I took advantage of the place. I knew when to wake up early, take me a nice walk. Okay, it's in the city. You never left nature. The body knows this. Went to the water, did my exercise. Here is just a change of scenario. Did my walk, go to the beach. So you start picking up your lifestyle anywhere you go. It doesn't matter. Now, of course, being out here is a different energy. Nobody's arguing that. But that don't mean you have to give up just because you're in a certain area. You understand? So it was still possible, and you're doing that right there. But you have to make some effort. That's all. So it's sort of like an ant hill. Ants will build their little ant hill. Now there's millions of ants living there. Now I'm sure there's one ant saying, I can't wait to move out of this city and go into nature. But the ant hill is right in nature. He don't know it. Big old trees around. He's just looking at all the other ants around. So you never left nature. You can't. You were born into it. That's your perception change again. Somebody could put the roof over you again just because of those words. And then last but not least, it's sort of like, well, people will say, well, I get this all the time. You can't be a breatharian here. In the Himalayas, I can see it. Well, I've been to the Himalayas. Been there. See, I had to go there for my own mind. And I was a teacher teaching breatharian. The rest of the sadhu wasn't. You know, no put down, but I'm saying don't let that stop you or where you at. But somebody told us you got to be there or you got to be here. That's like the Wizard of Oz again. Back when they was writing spiritual messages to us, saying different places, they didn't figure you'll ever be able to go there. That's why. That's why they got a far-off mythical place. That was magic again. But I'm coming back to say, you can do it anywhere you at. They ain't expect you to be there. Egypt and all that. When I went there, I was like, oh, I already had this information before I got here. I was teaching them. Don't be intimidated. So now, when we start working on this journey, our microcosmic orbit. Now, the whole idea, this is in Taoism. Anybody ever heard Taoism? We've got all these different systems of thought all around the planet. But they're all connected. You got to get the best one to work for you. And this is dealing with our center, dealing with the spinal cord. And again, this is falling in line with everybody was saying in nature ties. They'll show you a staff with two serpents coming up it because this is the center of your universe. This is where you see in the whole world at right here. Like somebody said, why you want to go to another planet? You can't even straighten out this planet. We got to be real with it. So, in order to get your life on or get your health to its full potential, we got to go back home. And your mind is so powerful, you got the power to take your thinking, your mind, and go inside your body. You could touch your heart. You could touch your livers. I ain't talking about with your hands, you can use your mind. Wherever the mind goes, that's where the energy goes. Now let's make it make sense. You focus on your hand, after a while you'll feel the difference. Because the blood cells is going there just by you focusing on it. And if the blood cells go there, pretty soon the energy is there. That's what it's saying. That's just dealing with physics again. So this is why this is a science. So when we do the microcosmic orbit, we're going to concentrate and focus. First, we'll start on the position number 1, up under the belly button. In Chinese, they say that's the Dantian. Some metaphysical books, they call it the Hera. But we're going right up under the belly button, about an inch up under. And we're going to focus on that area. Then put your mind there. Huh? Under the belly button, about an inch up under it. We're going to be like, focus it right there. And that's also, keep in mind, we've been learning about those chakra centers, but we'll talk more about that too, to bring it down to earth, to make it real. Then we go to position number 2. Now that's the gonad area. Now gonads is both for male and female. For the men, it's the testicles. For the women, it's the ovaries. Just take your mind, focus on that area. A lot of energy in that area. Go in there with your mind. Position number 3 is called your perineum. And that's the position between the anus and the gonad area. That flap of skin right up under you. A lot of energy. Now in ancient things, they call that the seat of the serpent. Because keep in mind, your spinal cord, it ain't just a bone that's sitting there. It literally got activity going through it both day and night, and it never ends. That's the energy flow. We want to open up that center channel to get a bigger energy flow. This is the art of it right here. This is why meditation is medication. You should be healthy. You know to open up this channel now. Then we go to position number 4. That's your tailbone or your coccyx. A lot of energy in that area. Still dealing with the spinal cord. We got to hit it all the way so we can get that energy flowing back up and down. Then we go to position number 5. That's your lower back in between your kidneys. Right here. So we can be clear. A lot of energy in that area. A lot of people have lower back problems with the kidneys, all of this. You start focusing your mind there, there's going to be some changes. Then we go into position number 6. And that's in between your shoulder blades in the middle of the back. Across from the heart. Now that position is real important. All right, when they were showing those pictures of angels and stuff, now even though those is pictures, that's still a schematic. Because on your energy flow in the body, your shoulder blades, not only you got the wings coming up here, there's some pictures you'll see an energy coming out here where both of them is running fully open. So a person is an angel. Now why would we say that? But it's an energetic thing. And they'll show an angel, whether it's male or female, with a robe on. Now what did that mean? Your physical body with the 2 legs is the male. Then that robe symbolizes the female in her joint. That's why a priest wears a robe. His male and female energies are fully connected. No in between, it's open. Those are symbologies. So again, we build our wings. Focus on the middle of the back there, position number 6. Position number 7. The medulla oblongata. That's where the brain meets the top of the spinal cord. They call that your 33 vertebrae. Though we say that word 33 is a spiritual number. 33, the angels, this and that. Everybody just talking. It's talking about the physical body. The 33 vertebrae. They say this is where spirit meets physical matter in the body. Now why would they say that? Well, if the brain is using the most energy out of all the organs, its next route is going down the spinal cord. So yeah, that's what spirit, your thought, meets physical matter. We bringing it real now. So it pays to focus on this area to open up that energy channel so you can get a bigger influx of energy going into the body. So it can go up and down with no hindrances there. Position number 8. The crown chakra. Anywhere on top of the head. So we get that thalamus, hypothalamus, pituitary gland, pineal gland. Remember earlier we talked about melanin? Your substantia nigra. You want all that to fire up. Like never before. You'll feel itching in the head, all this stuff. Your halo will start coming in. That's why they show angels with halos. This ain't just making it up. You working on your halo. You're walking around because of how the energy is coming in the organism. Period. So there's a thing called the marriage of the Lamb in Christianity. And also Shiva and Shakti. There's a story where Shakti is trying to find her lover. She's the energy at the base. The female energy is trying to find the male so they can have a marriage, a union with. This is going back to yoga. But she's always trying to go through a maze. And she keep getting blocked. And then she had to go another route in the maze trying to get upwards. This is telling the story. That's why we got to remove the blockages. By her nature, she's looking for a lover. She's trying. So there's an energy that's in us. Because we're 100 degrees inside. It just ain't staying here stagnant. Energy love to rise upwards. You make a campfire, energy's coming up. So it's the same within our bodies. Energy's always coming upwards. So when we start removing blockages, you're helping the Shakti energy. Let's call it that. The female energy. You helping her rise upward. She's already doing it. But we've made it all mythical. And the cosmic energy is always coming down, what we call Shiva. When they get at a certain degree, when they're joining up and down, the organism is healthy. You're the conductor of it. Oh, we took everything out, huh? That's what they call a marriage of the lamb. So you'll see some things when you got the what's that called? The his little pitchfork with the trident. You'll see the serpent coming up on his shoulder. Everything's full blown. Because the energy that's in them can come up freely, and the cosmic energy is coming up and down.
So that Shiva thing is the cosmic energy then?
Right.
In circulation?
In circulation. In circulation. Remember we said earlier about ATP? That is the molecule of the energy currency of the cell. See, any way we come with it is going to make sense. Whoa.
And in relation to the microcosmic orbit, you were saying about the Shakti getting a bit kind of like not. There's like an obstacle there within that. Is it because of the journey of the first three that you're talking about?
Oh, I'm glad she's bringing this up. Oh my gosh. All right, we'll get back to that one. She said the journey of the first three. But there was a time I used to teach, you got your 7 chakras, but the main 3 that you got to keep open is the first 3. The rest take care of themselves. The first 3 you got to take care of. So that's why it does pay like we was to take the first 3. You know, we got the base chakra, we got the second chakra, and where the third one at? Your solar plexus. Right above your stomach. That means a lot. That's where it's at. So if you take care of these 3 and energy love to rise upwards, these higher ones will take care of themselves. The heart, that comes out the furthest. The energy rises upwards. So it's like you got a hose. If you put a crank in the hose, the water at the end is coming out spitting. But the more you open it up, the stronger the water can come out. So if it's blocked at the base, the top chakras ain't getting what they're supposed to get. The energy spitting up. So you want to start working on the lower ones first. That's your main job. Like people be saying, how do I open up my third eye and how I open up my crown chakra? Don't worry about them. You open up the bottom ones. We got to go there. Because you can play with these all day long. If these is blocked, the flow of energy ain't going. This have to come back up. That's what's keeping you alive.
And what was the first 3? I didn't mean the first 3 chakras. I meant the first 3 was the perineum and then there was the tailbone.
Oh, well, we was coming. Now this is the microcosmic orbit diagram. Now me, I was going to the basic 7 chakra system.
But you were saying about like, it's like you anchor the energy, don't you?
Oh, you talk about the perineum?
Yeah, and you said the tailbone. There was like a kind of connection. It's like you make the connection with the energy and then you can move it.
Oh, well, what we're going to do, all you need to do is take your mind and focus there.
Okay.
Because there's many schools of thought, you know, there is what you call a lock that goes there and all of that in different yoga practices. And those are other different systems of thought, but they all should be geared to the same end. Other systems of thought. And this one is easy because, well, I shouldn't say easy, because you got to keep your focus. Focus your mind there. That's all you have to do. Let the energy do the work. Now, position number 10. Right. The fourth is the tailbone. And the fifth is the lower back in between the kidneys. And this is the important bulk of it right here dealing with this. Now this chart, see, they just pulled this up and called it the microcosmic orbit. When you deal with acupuncture, they tell you the same thing. This is in the acupuncture charts. And then when it comes out from there, it still go with the, yogic system. They would just call it nadis and all of this. And they're just going more into the vein area. That's all. Everybody's talking the same thing. We got to put it together. Deal with what we're dealing with so we can bring forth some good health. And the good thing about this, once you learn, now this makes it easy. You can go in and manipulate the energy with your own mind. You don't even need to go to no acupuncture teacher. Nobody teach you energy work no more. All you got to do is just do it. The energy take care of itself. Open it up, you start feeling, and you can measure it. You'll have more energy when you, don't need to sleep. Your thinking will change. And this also deals with hunger, thirst, and sleep cycles. We got to say it. Oh, let's talk more about that. Now, position number 10 is your throat chakra. Right where it dents right here, your thorax. This is a very powerful energy. We've been surprised because you do a lot of talking from here like I do. And if you're talking and eating through here, it holds a lot of energy. Oh, man. And that's why they say when these chakras get opened up, in spirituality again, you'll be able to talk something into existence. It's real. All you're doing is talking light. Sound is light. This is open. No hindrances. You start watching what you say. It ain't spooky no more. This is a machine. They told us, but now we bring them from thought to reality. Wow. Position number 11, your heart chakra, right between the chest. Let's focus right on that area. And your heart, we even got to look at that differently. That's part of the endocrine system. Not just what they're saying, your heart gives off hormones. It's giving off something, putting it into the blood. And you can get the heart healthier, bringing off a better energy than before. And then we got position number 12. And that's the solar plexus. And look at that word solar plexus. That name means a lot. Solar means the sun, light, whatever we want to give it. Plexus is a medical term, just meaning it's a ganglia of nerves all put together. And in the medical dictionary, if you look up the solar plexus, they'll tell you it actually lights up and glows. It should. Because it got all that circuitry going through there. So you can have wiring, literally. And the ganglia, it's sort of like how that wire is going on that house. And then a lot of them meet up right there before it breaks off and goes somewhere else. You wire it just like a house. So a ganglia is where all the wires come together. Of course it's going to light up even more. Then they go to the other directions or where they hook it up at. We got it all figured out. So then we go to the solar plexus. So now in this meditation, we're going to go back to position 1. Right up under the Dantian.
How do we know which chakra is blocked there?
Huh?
How do we know which chakra is blocked?
Oh. Well, this makes this meditation good. When we go over it, right, as you're going through each chakra, some you'll be able to feel, some you will not. But even if you can't feel it, you still focus on that area, something is happening. All right? So that's why you do this meditation constantly. Day 1, day 2. We'll do it all through the retreat. Every time going to be different. Now this makes it good. He said, how do you know which one is blocked? Don't even worry about it. You don't know. But you know when it becomes unblocked due to the symptoms that it gives you. So the symptoms I was naming was, you'll have better energy flow in your body. You'll feel it. See, when we talk a health message, what comes along with health is more than just the look. It's the way you feel. Remember when we say how the body's going to talk to you? It's going to tell you something is hurting, or it's going to make you feel good. That's how you know. A block is moving. Your flexibility going to come online. All of this. You're moving it. But one thing the thought is so powerful because the mind is your body. You're learning how to take your mind and go into the body and heal yourself. See, that's one superpower right there. It's a powerful thing when you learn how to heal yourself. That's a power. And another power after that, even if you got sick, you know why it happened. You know exactly why it happened without blaming somebody else. You done ate too much at the party. You ain't blaming nobody. I got food poisoning. Maybe it's something. No, you know what you did. But the good thing about it, you can heal yourself out of that again. You know what happened. Exactly. And I just ain't making this up. When I was in America, I had some friends crying about they were sick from the night before. Now, they was blaming the alcohol. They didn't blame the pizza. That's what they was doing. Now, I know it was the pizza. They said, no, it couldn't have been. Their mind can't see that. But here we go. So when we go back to position 1, now this is the good part. Huh? The Dantian. So we go back to position 1, the Dantian. We're going to breathe in. And when you breathe in, on the in breath, you're going to breathe it in all the way up to the back, to the top, and hold it. And then when you breathe out, you're going to take it and move the energy back down to position 1. Breathe in, moving it all the way up in one stroke. Breathe out. And we'll do that about 5, 6, 7 times. You'll do it on your own. You're learning how to move the energy in your body to open up that channel. Now I got a good one. Let me get a red marker for this. This is the tongue. Now how do I do that? Oh, the tongue will go to the roof of the mouth. Now anybody ever heard of putting the tongue at the roof of the mouth? Especially in meditation? Well, if not, that actually makes an energy connection. Because you do, like we were saying, on your spinal cord, you got energies going downwards, you got them coming upwards. That's just your circuitry. Because you got information coming in to keep you alive, you got information going out. That's basically what it's saying. This is good, ain't it? So when you put your connection to the roof of the mouth, it makes the body stronger. Because it's sort of like that's where we got the flicking the switch in the house at. When you flick the switch, it makes the electricity come on. The wiring was already there, but you want the redirection of the energy to go differently. It's like a shortcut. So you put the tongue at the roof of your mouth and you'll feel that shortcut come online. Now let's make it make sense. Any of y'all ever heard of the Ketchery Mudra? Now, this will blow some of your mind, but it's okay. The Ketchery Mudra, this is the prerequisite to it. That's when you can go to the levels you don't need to breathe. Did I say that? Yes. It isn't far-fetched no more. There's a science behind that. Because you're an energy being. They saying you need to live off of oxygen. No, you don't. You're an energy being. That's just due to where you at right now. But once you make that energy connection in this center, become stronger with the flow of energy, it don't need no oxygen. It's self-sustaining. So there'll be a bigger energy flow feeding the brain. You made that energetic connection and you build up the light in the body. It don't need to breathe. Now this is what they say. The tongue will start going back beyond the tonsils and it will be able to touch the pineal gland. That's what they call about Amarita. Now, some people, they cheat and they cut the bottom of their, what should I say, tongue where it connects so it can go back further. But that's not legitimate in my mind. It will do it on its own the more you purify the body. The more you purify the body, the tongue will go back more and more. Now, for me, what I felt it was, when my tongue go back there, I do feel the influx of energy going up and down. That's why I say, oh man, this is awesome. But that's a whole nother level. That's the next phase. So if you can't wrap your head around it yet, that's okay. Take one step at a time. But the prerequisite is getting that tongue at the roof of the mouth. It makes the body stronger energetically because you made an energetic connection. Now, that's why they say a lot of people go into silence for a while. Okay, there's many schools of thought, but when you see a person having a day without silence and stuff like that, 9 out of 10, they got their tongue at the roof of their mouth practicing. So it's more than just not talking, they got their tongue there, hold it. And you start doing that in meditation, you'll feel a difference when you start playing with it. So we're throwing it out there. It's a prerequisite. But it's making an energetic connection in the body. And even that part up under your tongue that people actually cut is trying to cheat their way in. It will burn itself off naturally because your energy. You'll start feeling energy. Just like you feeling in your hands, it's coming up your spine like that. It will get stronger. Oh, man.